Hey, I think we're rolling. I think we're on. This is a week late. I am so sorry for being late. But hi, how are you? How is everybody? Don't forget to pop in the comments a hello and where you're at. I always like to know where you guys are from. I guess that was more relevant when we were on the road because we were always changing where we were. But hey, Bill, good evening. Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining in. Oh, man. If I touch my eye tonight, ignore me on that. I'm working on a headache, I think, and I probably should have taken some medicine before hopping on here, but I didn't. Uh, so I am, yeah, I'm back in the camper now. We tried to do outside last month. Turns out 7 p.m. in the wintertime, it's dark outside. You can't see the beautiful mountains we wanted you to see. Um, we were going to do it in what will be the kitchen in the house, but it's cold and again dark, and only 2 rooms have power right now. So, power and lights. So oh, and the Wi-Fi doesn't reach over there. So I'm back in here, and I am alone. Paul and I tried to do it together last month, and I appreciate all of you for being so kind and understanding for the kids constantly needing us. But it just felt like a lot for us to manage to go back and forth and be in and out of the conversation. So Paul just told me to hop on tonight. So it's just me tonight, which I feel like he should have been on because all of our videos have mostly been him lately. He has been working so hard and doing so much for our content. So, but that's okay. It's me tonight. So, hi, how are you guys? Don't forget to hop in the comments and say hello and where you're from. I always just like to know where you guys are coming from. Hi, Colette. Bill said it's really wet and cold as well as dark. Yeah, it warmed up today, guys. It was, I think, I'm gonna talk like silliness here, but I swear today warmed up just so that our family can realize that there is good going on in our lives. It's been so darn cold. It's unusually cold. I don't know how cold it is in the rest of the country, but in Southwest Virginia, it's been very cold. So for a week, we've been lows in 20s, high in 30s, and it's usually like 15 degrees warmer than that every day. So we have been freezing, and today it was 47 out, and we were in t-shirts, and the sun was shining, and it was beautiful, and we got a bunch of work done, and we hung out by the pond. It was awesome. So it was beautiful weather today. But tonight, yes, it's cold. Chilly. I will say it's chilly. It's not cold as it was, and dark outside. So Heidi said hi from Watertown, New York. You got warm today, which is odd. Yeah, I think that there's like a front moving north. I saw that the south, like the south, I'm in the south now, but like Florida is getting a lot of rain. So I and that wind was coming from the south. So and it was so warm. Oh man, I would just like stand there in the breeze, be like, oh, this is beautiful. So I think there was a little bit of a storm coming through. I'm not gonna complain though. Bill said Jackson, Tennessee, it was freezing for several days before today. Yeah. So looks like most of the country is kind of on uh the same spread here as far as weather is concerned, which I feel like usually happens anyway. Mr. Tank Farmer, hey Scott, you're from Wisconsin. Great to see you as well. Thanks for hopping in and being here. So yeah, this live stream is a week late. We are trying really hard to be consistent for you guys. It has just been busy. So Paul has been working his tail off. In moderation, I will say we are sticking true to not working too hard. So he usually works in the morning and then it's like family time in the afternoon or whatever we need to do. We need to run errands or something. But Paul is working really hard and working on the house, and it's going beautifully. Also, we had back-to-back sickness. We had a bug right before 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and then Paul's parents were here, which you guys saw on the video. And then it was Thanksgiving, and we are getting over sickness again. So I feel like it's been about a month, and we've been not struggling, but it's just been busy. Uh, Yeah, just busy, I think is the right way to say it. So sorry for that this is a week late. We will try really hard to be really consistent. So the first Sunday of every month will be our live streams. And we'll try to stay true to that as best we can. Hey, Heidi said it's going to be a mess though. You had 4 feet of snow. Oh no, and then it's all melting. That is the worst. We had that in Indiana a couple times where you'd get a lot of snow and then it'd melt and then it'd flood and then it'd get cold and then it'd freeze and it just the ground didn't really know what to do with all of that. So, oh, I'm so sorry you're gonna have to wade through that muddy mess. Isn't there what do they call it? It is a legitimate term. Like they taught it in soil science class when I was at Purdue. Snert. Yeah, I think it's snert. Snow dirt. Like it is a legitimate an actual term that they use for when the snow gets dirty and it's like half snow, half dirt. They call it snert. Sounds like something out of a Dr. Seuss book. I don't know. I will be drinking my tea tonight too. Getting over the sickness, working on a headache. So yeah. Yeah, never heard of that. It's when the professor said that, I mean, like, the whole class laughed because we were like, "What? That's a real word?" Yeah, yeah, scientists actually put it in the dictionary. Snert. That's what I feel like that's what this live stream should have been called, "Dealing with the snert," even though we don't have any snert around here. But we did get snow. We heard from so many people around here saying that it hasn't snowed in so long, and Lincoln was just like little kid out the window looking at the snow. Mom, look at the snowflakes. It was so cute. So we did get some snow around here. So we had a little bit of snow. Not as much as Heidi does in New York right now, though. Scott, Mr. Take Farmer said stress eats up vitamin C supplement with 2 to 3 grams daily. Yeah, there's a local herb store just right down the road from us. So I went in there and Lincoln got it first, and I said, "I have a 4-year-old at home who's sick, and I need things." So I got some stuff for him, and then once everybody else started getting sick, I loaded up for us. So we're doing better now, but yes, the tea is my go-to. It was so cute. Paul peeked his head in here right before the live started, and I didn't say anything to him about it, but he said, "What's your cold tea?" Which is like your cold remedy tea. And I was like, "Oh, there's a sticky note on the wall. You can look at it." And so he made me my tea. It's got echinacea, peppermint, lemon honey, a little bit of elderberry. I do not like the taste of elderberry. I just can't like I can't do it. So it's like 4 berries of elderberry and yarrow and if there's something else. I can't remember right now. But anyway, it's really good. It's a really good tea. So I'm enjoying it. Colette, hi from Connecticut. It was a nice day, 49, and sun came out, not windy. Yeah, it was a beautiful day. Bill, cut yourself some slack. Building a home is hard enough, but rebuilding a building used for a different purpose is a huge task, adding in young children. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about how the remodel is going. We are like, I don't know, it's probably a week and a half behind actual progress to what you guys have seen. So if you talk about what you saw in the videos, um, and I say something and you're like, "Oh, that wasn't in a video," it's probably because it wasn't in a video yet. So, um, we are, I mean, just busting it out. Paul's parents were an amazing help and with the kids and with the house. And it was, oh, thought I was gonna sneeze. Um, It was so, so nice having them here. Just in general, I mean, we miss our family, so it was good having them here, but they are Paul's mom is like a buster. That woman can outwork anybody. I swear. She's awesome. So we got all the demo done. It's rewrapped. We have doors. I don't think you've seen that video yet. I don't know if that was in the last one. I can't remember. But we do have doors in, and even the landowner stopped by and he's like, "Oh, they open really nice." And we're like, "Yeah, it's a good door. It's wonderful." Um, it's not the wooden makeshift door that was there before. Nothing against the wooden makeshift door. It was a nice looking door, but to have like cold frame doors, it's good. So we're excited about that. We are just rebuilding. So it's It's really coming together. Um, I'm trying to stay on what we've had done in the videos so that I don't confuse you. I guess I can talk about where we are, like, as of right now. It's a little, um it'll be confusing. You'll catch up. It'll be fine. So today we finished framing up the bathroom. So we now have to like walk the layout of the house to get anywhere. We can't like cut through, the hole in the wall or between boards. We have to walk all the way around. So I think tomorrow Paul's wanting to get the upstairs framed up and then stairs are on their way, ordered flooring, gotta do electrical before all of that, but, electrical is the next, like, big part to it, get some electrical done, and yeah, we're just moving through, so, Bill said, "Cut yourself some slack with video commitments." Yeah, I it's so different when you're working on a project and you're, like, in the zone, but you're also filming it, and then you have to also take the time to go edit it. Which is all Paul. That's all him right now. So you don't see me much in the videos right now. I'm, hanging out with the kids and doing whatever they're doing. We do like library time during the week and we have co-op and stuff like that. So it just kind of depends on what we're doing. But yeah, um, we sure are having fun. I what questions do you guys have? I know that we've are basically focusing on the house remodel right now. Um, but, we are still getting our dairy cow next month. And oh, we placed our chick orders. Any of you guys else, have you done any like ordering for the spring? We placed our chick orders and we placed our seed orders. So we are really getting excited for the spring. Like I feel like every night I fall asleep and I just like want to mentally walk through the garden I'm going to create. Paul hopped up on here. Things are quiet, so I'm guessing they're watching a movie. He said, "What's your favorite thing about the house?" Um, mm, I don't know if I have a favorite thing. The front porch. Today, when Paul was done, we just sat on the front porch and rocked in the rocking chairs and stared at the mountains. It's nice. It's so nice. Paul also asked, "Do you miss traveling?" There are parts of traveling that I miss, but I enjoy being, like, a little bit more structured, especially for the kids, mostly for the kids that we can say, "Oh, okay, so we are going to go to co-op, and we are going to go to the library, and we have friends that we know will be there," and as the kids are getting older and they're making those relationships, I think it's really important for them, so I loved exploring, but there's still a lot to explore here, so Bill, how is the infrastructure for the cow going, or is it already in place? So, um, Hazel will be in. Paul, will you hop out of here? You are going to confuse people. He's putting his own thoughts in here, and I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Bill, to answer your question, maybe some people don't know that Paul's my husband. I hope you all know that. I'm not just talking about some stranger on the internet. That is my husband. He's in the other room with the kids. Anyway, um, Bill, talking about infrastructure for the cow. So we're going to be pretty, what's the word, primitive with her for a little while. When we get her in January, she will be dry. We have tons of pasture that she can graze. So I'm still bouncing between if we're going to put her in the garden or if we're going to put her next to the camper. We have, Bill, you like it. Okay, thanks. I guess you can keep doing it then. We have neighbors' dogs that like to visit. We have, a lot of coyotes. We actually saw bear scat a couple weeks ago. I don't quite remember when it was. Right before Thanksgiving, maybe? Um, so we have some predators, and we only will have 1 cow, which is not something I would love to do. I don't want to only have 1 cow, but that's just the situation we're in. So we want to keep her as close to us as possible. So I thought about putting her in the garden with the, netting and making, like, a makeshift. lean-to more as a windbreak and letting her chomp down the garden really well, throw some manure down on it, and then we can cover it in hay as a mulch. And so we don't have to like unroll a bale or scatter a bale. It will just be from her and she'll trample it down. And that can be like our start to the garden. But or we'll put her next to the camper, and I don't mean like right next, but just kinda over a little bit from the camper and have like a little makeshift lean-to and have her there. But our plan is to day graze her. So we have, like I said, tons of pasture. So I will put her out into pasture during the day, probably with netting. I mean, there's also the lead rope that we could do and just like put her in a stake and she can walk around it. But because of the dogs and, well, she won't be out there at night, but mainly because of the dogs, I think the netting will be best so that she doesn't get around them or they don't get around her. Um, so that's the infrastructure we'll have with her for now. Once she comes into milk, which she'll come into milk in July, um, she's going through a long dry period. Me and the farmer, Amelia, one of the farms we toured, JW Farms, we've agreed that she needs to have a long dry period because of her history. So she just needs to be a little drier. Um, and once she comes into milk, then by then we'll have a little bit better infrastructure. We'll probably have a stanchion to milk her in. We're still back and forth on if we want it to be a mobile stanchion or if we want it to be a single stand, like a stationary stanchion, and put it somewhere because we don't have the barn is like treated more like a garage and workspace. So we don't have like a livestock barn, which we're talking might end up being in the works. We haven't said anything to the landowners about that. So if you guys are watching, I know we haven't mentioned that to you yet. But that might be something we end up working on. So yeah, that's about the infrastructure with the cows. Bill asked, "Are you getting chickens soon after the cows?" So we will be getting chickens. The chicks will be delivered on February. And what we're going to do is when we farmed in Indiana, my most favorite bird to raise for meat was a cross between a dark Cornish and a barred rock. And those birds, the progeny of those birds, were amazing. They were like what you'd get from a Freedom Ranger, but also not the Freedom Ranger genetics because those genetics are also like the Cornish cross where they're the company's genetics. They're not like a anyway, there's a bunch of crosses up in there. So I like those breeds. So we ordered 25 dark Cornish and 20 wait, was it? It's not 50 birds. I think it's 30. No. I don't remember how many chickens I ordered. Chicken math is bad. So I ordered quite a bit of dark Cornish and barred rocks. We're trying to keep it on the slow pace so that we aren't. We thought about going to the auction house and getting some layers just so we could have some chickens, and then we thought about buying some, but we just need to go slowly. So we're just gonna get some chicks. They come in February. We'll brood them and then we'll put them out in a chicken tractor. Things will start warming up by then so they don't have to be brooded for very long. So we're trying to just, go a little slower on that. Hey, Vonnie said, I'm late to the party. Hi, so glad to have you here. Bill, I really like how Justin Rhodes milks his cows, basically pulls them from their grazy area and milks them while they stand and eat. Yeah, that's definitely a model that we want to get into just while we're starting. I don't know if we can do that right away. But especially since we haven't had a milk cow before. So there are a lot of things we're learning, a lot of learning curves we'll go through, and we'll just end up seeing what works best for us. I know that there are so many homesteaders out there who have their own milking routine and milking setup, and we'll fall right in place and find our own. So so I'll stick to the chickens. So with the chickens, we will do quite a few things with them because they are a dual purpose breed and we'll have two breeds of them. We have an incubator that we saved that we had when we farmed in Indiana. So we will hatch some. Well, we'll hatch all of our chickens going forward. We'll just do those genetics and just hatch our own. And then we might sell hatching eggs. We might sell chicks. We will definitely grow them out for meat. We'll have them as layers. We'll try to use them as a universal livestock on the farm. So that will be really, really nice. Um, Bill, you have attended Smart Butt, I will say, since we are on YouTube, university for years, haven't you? Um, are you talking to me or oh, you're talking to Paul. Okay, because Paul's comment says not enough chickens, I'll order more now. Paul can't take anything seriously. Um, yeah. Paul is always sarcastic. So yes, many years. So, that was the milk cow, the chickens. Yes, Bill, you said you're talking to Paul. Since Paul is throwing all of the random questions in here, I will get back to them now. When are you getting pigs? I have no idea, Paul. Sheep? No, I don't like animals that just die for no reason. When do the other cows arrive? We haven't agreed on the other cows yet, Paul. Stop throwing things in here. Do you think you why did you say, "Do you guys think?" Like, you are you guys. You you're so confusing. Will you get a stanchion should be mobile? Okay, I already mentioned that. But just to mention it in case you didn't hear me, we aren't sure if we're going to do a mobile one or a stationary one yet. We've heard pros and cons from many different people about both of them, but the best pasture that we have is very sloped, so I'm not sure a mobile stanchion will work very well on that. Also, dogs. So it might be best to have it stationary up near us, near the house, I guess, and wherever we may or may not put a barn. Um, and so it probably will end up being stationary, but yeah, we're not sure yet. And thankfully, we have time to work through that. Heidi, Paul is funny. Do you want an LGD, Paul? Well, we have Arizona. So Arizona is our lab, and she is a dupe. God love her. She's very sweet, but she is a very dumb dog. So, um, I don't see a need for LGDs. We do have up until today, actually, which I got a little spiritual with, but we have had like 50, and I mean literally 50 or more turkey vultures that hang out in a couple of the dead trees in on the farm. And then today, this morning, when I was drinking my coffee, there were some crows outside, and I thought, oh, huh, we have crows now. That's interesting. I haven't seen crows here yet. And then when we were getting water and we were down by the pond, the vultures weren't around, and I heard the crows. So I'm like, oh, maybe we're like breathing life back into this farm where the vultures were kind of here. Um, I was training an army of vultures to attack my enemies, and they left. Not a great train. Okay. So apparently Paul's the reason why all the vultures left. But I thought, well, we're starting to slowly build some life back into this place, and yeah. So I don't know, but that was interesting. Um, don't really say you haven't decided yet, Olivia. You know that Herefords are in your near future. Bill, how do you know me so well? um, Scott said 10 Scottish Highlands coming your way. Paul loves the Highlands, and I really like them too. But yeah, I don't know what we're gonna have here. I know the landowners, they get beef from a farmer who raises registered limousines. A limousine is a black breed of cattle. They're just black. You can't really tell them different from like Angus because they just look black. Um, but they wanted us to raise some of those. So I'm happy to raise some limousines for the landowners. But other than that, I don't know what we'll get into. Right now I just want to focus on Hazel and get her acclimated and get our chicks. Like, I really am taking this very seriously of slowing down and figuring out this land. Mainly because the pastures, I am just not familiar with the plant species around here. For example, we went poking around in one of the grassy areas. I wouldn't call it's not the pastured areas. So on the farm, there are multiple places that have been cleared for what the previous landowners wanted as home site builds. So there are 3 different places of those. And they're just like scrubland, and you could tell they're trying to kind of come to forest, but they've been bush hogged maybe. Anyway, we were walking through one of them, and the thorns are terrible. And so I started doing research about what these thorns are. One of them is like a ground berry. I don't really want to get rid of those because I know that they feed like the deer and the bears and all of the good things that we want to have on the property. But dang, do they hurt. There's another one that really hurts, and it grows up and tall, and it's got like a green stem, and that thing will cut you to pieces. So I was trying to figure out how do we like convert it into pasture, and there's just not a lot of organic matter. The places I call pasture, those look good. They're good pasture areas. But the rest of it, it's gonna take some time. So we've talked about maybe pigs, maybe goats might be on the radar. And I only say that because I think that goats are the only ones that can take care of the thorns. So maybe we grabbed a handful of goats, threw them out there, they did their job, and then we don't like to eat goats. So, I don't know, maybe we can find a farmer who needs to put goats somewhere and we can put them on our farm and use it that way. There's a lot of different options, and opportunities we have, which is really cool, but also us slowing down that we can have these strategic plans instead of just jumping in. So, we just kind of are trying to figure this out. I also saw that with the thorns, some ag lime might help because they like acidic soil. So maybe we can throw some lime down in the spring and kind of keep some of that at bay. So, Bill, back on the vultures. Are you sure that they are turkey vultures and not black-headed vultures? Um, that's a good question. I'm not sure which they might be. I thought they were turkey vultures, but I'm not sure. Well, usually perch up and want to take off. Crows will show up anywhere they find food. So these vultures, though, Vonnie, they are here. I mean, since the day we've got here, and we've been here over a month now. This is where they fly. They have their morning meeting every day in the same trees. I swear, they're drinking their coffee together. They get up and fly in the afternoon, and then in the evening they come back into the same tree. I mean, they live here, but I didn't see them today, and we see them every single day. So I don't know. And now we see crows, which is interesting. Bill, Limousine are huge cattle. They are a larger breed. Um, the Herefords we had were huge though, so um, it's hard for me to say huge cattle in a difference because I don't know. I guess all cows are kind of big. There are definitely shorter breeds, right? But yeah. Vonnie, this is the season to slow down, take advantage of it. Oh, absolutely. So I am so glad that we are like just embracing all of it. We even went walking. This is where we saw the bear scat. So we went walking on the other side of the pond. So it has a drain, but it also is like kind of created its own little stream to drain out because it's spring fed, right? So it's got to go somewhere. And we realized that when we first walked the property with the landowners, we thought, oh, wow, I see like a bunch of cows back here. Like there's another 10, 15 acres back here. This would be great. But what we realized is it's very wet back there. So that would be a seasonal thing. So these are the things that we're definitely realizing as we're being slow instead of just showing up and putting animals on. We're really understanding the land, giving it what it needs, what we need, what will work between both. Yeah, this is a wonderful time to get here. We are so thankful to be here when we did, that we can focus on the house now and slowly build the farm. So, and the landowners are so wonderful for that too, that they want it to be slow with us and that we want it to be a beneficial thing. Paul, would a video about grazing plan and our thoughts before we start with any animals interest anybody? Yes, that is a serious question. So I have been talking with Paul that once a week, maybe once every other week, just because it's a slow season, that we do some kind of homestead video. That's why we threw a compost video out, just so that we can remind you guys that this is a homestead. This is not just a house remodel channel. So if we were to put a video out about grazing plan or thoughts on pastures, just like us walking the pastures, would you guys enjoy something like that? let me know in the comments, please, because Paul and I have kind of gone back and forth on if we think that that would be an interesting video or not. Bill, if you had to choose between Greg Judy's hair, sheep, and goats, I would choose sheep. Yeah, I guess I have heard good things about the hair sheep. Are those the Katahdins? They, I have heard good things about those. Um, I guess when I think of sheep, I just think of Suffolk, so is it Suffolks, however you pronounce it. Um, no, those things are not in my. They're just not for me. We don't get along. Vonnie, yeah, vulture coffee clutch. Turkey vultures have red skin heads, blacks are black. Yeah, it just they're far away and I don't have very good eyesight, so I don't know which they were. Bill said it sounds like a black-headed turkey vultures. Turkey vultures have red heads. Like a yeah, I know the difference. I guess I didn't pay close enough attention to their faces. So, Brittany, walk and talks. As far as videos go, yeah, it would be like a walk and talk video, maybe even some drone overlay. We could show you all of it. Yeah. So your plans and thoughts about your farm would be well received by me. Okay, yeah. So and we would preface it by saying that like, a video like that, where we're doing like a grazing plan, it's not set in stone. It's just us having a conversation. So yeah, I think we'd love to bring you guys along with that. So we'll get a video out like that soon. I think it's gonna rain here for a few days, so maybe the next nice day, we'll get the camera out for that. Paul, I see this video to reference in a few years to see the progress. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so that's kind of the start to what we're doing here. I wasn't sure how long I was gonna be on here. So we've been on here for 30 minutes. I usually slot it for an hour, but it just depends on the conversation. So if you guys have more questions, you guys, that's not Paul, um, pop them down in the comments and we can keep talking. I'll talk till 8 if you're here. I recently held a class about filling your freezer. You should do things like that. Yeah, Brittany, we just don't have anything to show is the biggest thing. We would like the video to be more than just talking heads, you know? Um, but I guess there could be, I mean, obviously right now we don't have anything, so we're going to the grocery store and we budget really, really hard. Um, so there might be some kind of videos like that, but I'm just not sure if that's, easy for us to talk about. Bill said the reason you asked about the vultures are known to eat calves and other animals being birthed. Oh, I didn't know that. I guess I just knew that like they could. Um, I didn't know they would like still eat them alive. I thought they'd only eat like a dead calf if it was born dead. Wow. Okay, that's good to know. As of today, they were gone, so maybe we don't have to worry about it. We will definitely keep Hazel on a very close watch though when she's calving. Um, keep her clean and out of the way because we do have um coyotes and other things that dogs. So yeah, we'll keep her safe with that. Um, how does the 3x4 window look in the kitchen? I think Paul's asking me if I like that window in the kitchen. And I gotta say, I really, really like that window in the kitchen. I thought for sure it'd be way too big, but it looks really good. So thanks for making the executive decision on that. Paul, I appreciate it. It looks good. And I can't wait to get to just make it a kitchen. I've had so many good comments on that too about some of the layouts. We did draw it up, and we probably should have said that in the video too. So I put a full scaled diagram of the whole house on paper, and I measured it, and I measured the countertops, and I measured the fridge, and I measured the stove, and the toilet, and the shower pan, all of it. And so we've changed, a few things, but we really did try to plan it as much as we could. Um, let's see, Bill, I'm new to east of Mississippi, so I'm on a steep learning curve because of my animals. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about the animals being different, um, based on that, and out in the mountains too, I mean, like, in Indiana, sure, coyotes could be an issue, but mostly they just stayed away, but over here, I mean, we had a coyote pack running through, and there were, like, 3 or 4 nights in a row where we just heard them, and they were so loud. And 2 nights, I looked out our window, and I saw one of them, and he was huge. I mean, you gotta be careful about saying wolves around here because that's a sensitive subject, but that dude was huge, huge. So, and we also have, like, a lot of deer. That's obviously not a predator, but it is just something to think of. Hi. Oh, man. My eye is starting to go, so I am having a hard time reading. Ed Edunta? Edunta? Did I pronounce that right? Love following your journey, awesome job. Thank you so much, I really appreciate that. We are really having a blast, and it's so nice to be able to just, like, stop our day and look up and be like, "Oh, we live in a beautiful place." I can see all of these mountains, it's just it's awesome here. Brittany, coyotes will bait your dogs off too and come back in the house to pick off other animals. What? Is this my headache? Brittany, coyotes will bait your dogs off too and come back into the house to pick off other animals. Hmm. You're just saying like they'll just take one animal at a time. Um, yeah, we'll we'll take measures for sure. Bill, I've also learned that having pigs around the perimeter of your property is a coyote barrier. Coyotes will go out of their way to avoid pigs. Oh, I did not know that. Oh, coyotes will lure the dogs off? Seriously? Well, Arizona's so dumb, she would. And she runs away anyway, so she has Arizona's not off leash. She has to be on her leash at all times because if not, I mean, the girl's gone. And the last time she ran away, because we tried it, we were like, okay, we'll get her off leash for like a little bit. You turn your head and she's gone. And you're like, where did you go? So she was gone. And finally, I was like, I don't know, I can't find her. I went looking for her. I went all the way down to the pond. I came all the way back up. I was like, Paul, I don't know. I think she's gone. Like, I don't know what to do. Well, maybe she'll come back. And, she did come back, and she was, like, just exhausted, out of breath, panting, so she stays on leash because she's very stupid, so, I did not know that they will lure pet dogs off. That is crazy. But Paul says he's ordering pigs now, so and then come back for other animals, okay. Um I'm sure that because there's 24 acres here, I'm sure that we will get to a size where a livestock guardian dog will be on the docket. And I will tell you, we will be going down to Mississippi to get it from Shane at I can't remember his farm's name now. Oh man. Anyway, he has really good livestock guardian dogs, so we would go there. But yes, we will definitely keep coyotes in our thoughts and make sure that we're not um letting it bait Arizona to run away and become doggy stew. I imagine then because 'cause they'll kill it, right? Yeah, I imagine. Anyway, okay, let's hop off of that. I feel like that's a negative topic. Not a negative, but just, like, talking about a lot of death here. Anyway, Paul, Kiko goats. Oh, Deep South Kikos. That's Shane. Yeah, he has livestock guardian dogs, and he's awesome, so, yeah. Let's see, what else around here? We're pretty slow going. I mean, really, we just have the house. Like I said, we've got Hazel coming in January. We've got chicks coming in February. And we're just enjoying it and going slow. So that's that's not all I have. Do you guys have any last pressing questions? I don't want to hop off too early, but if this is about what we've got, like I said in the beginning, I'm sorry that we we're not consistent this month. We will definitely try to be more consistent, but November was apparently a busy month for us. Um, Brittany said, if you have pines, look out for porcupines. Oh, I don't think porcupines are up this high. That's a Google question. Hey, Paul, you should Google that. Do porcupines come up here? Because that's that's interesting. Let's see. Vonnie, are Paul's parents still here? No, they were only here for a week. They fit us into their schedule between doctor's appointments. So they're gonna come back in January sometime, I think, and have more house. But we teased that we were like, wow, like we're really pushing through the house. Like we might be moved in before when they come back. We won't be. It's not there. But we were teasing that we're like, they won't have anything to do, but then they could just enjoy the time and not have to work, you know? Um, Bill, Kiko goats are great for clearing property, but you need strong perimeter fence. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is the property, it does not have a perimeter fence. Now, we are not opposed to perimeter fence, but this is mountainous terrain and we the property lines, I believe we've got like an app or something that we can kind of see property lines, and I've seen stakes. So I'm pretty sure, and I mean stakes like from a surveyor. So I'm pretty sure that we know where the property lines are, but it's also in the woods and I don't know. It's just a whole extra headache, I think, to perimeter fence the whole farm. Um, but we would definitely want to feel secure with any animal, before we put it on. Um, Brittany, I have them right off the side of Mount Washington. Oh, really? Okay. Um, wow, we will definitely keep an eye out for porcupines then. Thanks for mentioning that. Paul, I'd like to be here for a few years before we put in a permanent perimeter fence. Yeah, I agree. I agree. High and strong fence and have fun putting posts in. Yeah, it is very rocky here. Now I know we would definitely go with the timeless fence posts, and high tinsel. Like I know we would do that, but it is very rocky and it's mountainous. I mean, it just is right where our camper sits, about I don't know, 50 feet down. It's just like almost straight down. So, I don't know if it's worth it to put a perimeter fence in. Maybe per pasture or per like livestock area, we could do something like that. All options to be on the table. We're gonna be here for a long time, bearing any terrible thing that I don't want to think about. So I'm just gonna go on with the thought that we're gonna be here for a long time and we have all options on the table. With that said, my headache's getting really bad, so I'm gonna hop off of here. But thank you all so much for I will die at this house, Paul says. um, thank you all so much for hopping on and being with me tonight. Again, I apologize for not being inconsistent, and we will try better next month. So the first Sunday, I'm gonna say that, and that's gonna be like New Year's or something. Let me check real quick. Okay, no, the first Sunday is January 5th. So we will be back on here January 5th, probably at 7 p.m. And yeah, just with more things to chat about. So thank you all so, so much for being on here with me. I will see you next time and keep watching our videos. We are putting out 3 a week right now with the home remodel, and we're just going to keep you guys updated. All right. See you guys. Oh, and I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, all of the wonderful things. Enjoy your time with everyone. Bye, guys.